turn your notifications on. We have a great time talking Real Housewives. I'm always coming with the tea and the gossip, trying to give you guys all of that up front in the beginning of the video, and a little bit of my opinion at the end. And then, of course, during like lives, typically, we are able to kind of like discuss things a little. I can give a little bit more of my opinion. So, like I said, if you love the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, if you want to talk Real Housewives of Atlanta, then this video is for you. And if not, then just keep swiping. All right, guys, we have to talk about the fact that we have a new blind item coming out about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then we also have to talk about, well, I mean, we're going to talk about a couple different things. We want to talk about the fact that Diana Jenkins has practically become one of the most hated housewives. I featured a photo. I took a poll on a picture of Diana basically getting all of her very expensive handbags into a vehicle whenever the wildfires hit in California because she had to save her handbags. And 95% of people said it was not funny. And then also I want to go over a little bit, some talk about a producer. Hey, Alan. A producer that left the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Well, basically they left Evolution, but allegedly this was like Kyle Richards' people, and this is allegedly why she could potentially be quitting, because he gives her such a great edit all of the time. Now, this is the same producer that allegedly all of this stuff with Heather Dubrow went down with, okay? And this is allegedly what is got him fired, basically. Hi, JoJo. Hi, guys. I hope you're ready to talk some housewives. So we have to break all of that down, okay? Because we know that Heather Dubrow originally, whenever she was on the Housewives before, she didn't come back. They had asked her back the next season as a friend, but it had always been alleged that there was a producer, there was somebody in production that her and that person did not get along with. And eventually that was ultimately why she didn't return to the Real Housewives of Orange County, right? So that's not the same producer necessarily that this all took place with. But it is something to note that Heather has issues with producers, and she has issues with like working staff around her. Now, this could be related. You know, she allegedly shoved the cameraman. Terry allegedly spit on somebody whenever, you know, all of this transpired at her house when they found out that Nicole had sued Terry a long time ago. But you know, they thought that Bravo and Evolution were setting them up. So, of course, they, like, tripped out about it. And Terry, you know, allegedly spit on somebody. I don't know if that's true or not. Now, this is why, allegedly, he's getting fired. He called all of the women. I guess he must have worked with everyone, like on kind of like the West Coast, like the Orange County ladies and the Beverly Hills ladies, because that seems to be the case, because he spoke with Tamra, he spoke with Kyle, he spoke with Kelly, he spoke with Shannon, but primarily I think he worked a lot with the OC. Now, Tamra allegedly told him that he should shut his mouth, don't talk about it, because he'll never work again. She was like, don't talk about Heather and Terry. Don't talk about that you're being done dirty and you're getting fired over, you know, this stuff happening in their home, the altercation. Tamara was like, go out quietly. Don't say anything. Kelly Dodd alleges that she was like the complete opposite. Of course, we know how Kelly is, like, F that. They're doing you dirty. Make sure you talk about it. Like, don't let them do that to you. Well, now the guy got a job at Netflix. So he has a job. And so now he's talking a little bit more freely about what is transpired and the fact that he was fired from Evolution, from Bravo, because of the altercation that took place in Terry and Heather's home. However, he was very close with Kyle Richards, giving her a good edit 99% of the time. And he was close with the other women. It seems like, you know, they really cared for him and liked him. And, you know, they were kind of frustrated with Heather and her position. Oh, Stace saw that on Just Show. Yeah. So, I don't know. This is allegedly part of the reason why Kyle may not be returning next season. I don't think she's going to not return. I'm with you, Shay. Kelly knows more than what people think. I think so too. I don't know. I just, I don't know. I think that Kyle will definitely return. I don't think she's done yet. I think that it's going to get worse before it gets better. But I think she can't quit this. You know, she's really feeling on top the last couple of years. You know, her Mauricio, we talked about the fact that, you know, when she started the Real Housewives, she shopped at Target. Okay. She didn't even know name brands. And now look at them. Look at them now, you know? So I feel like she really feels on top, and I don't think she wants to come down away from that. And I also think that she probably makes a very hefty paycheck working for Bravo. And even if that's just her spending money, I mean, it's still a big paycheck. And so all of the women have said before, you know, when they lose that Bravo check, they start downsizing, okay? Unless if they're people that really don't need to be on the Bravo show anyways, and we don't know very many of those women. So, oh, JoJo, I missed you too. I miss all of you guys. I'm so glad to be back. Talking with you guys. I want to know what you guys think about Diana and the handbags, okay? She mentioned in the episode that whenever the wildfires happened in California, that when they packed up to leave, she packed up a car of her handbags because they are so precious to her, and she wants to be able to pass them down to her daughter, etc., etc. And I'm not sure if she posted or if Bravo posted a photo of her like standing beside a car full of bags. I'm not sure because there's a Twitter account that claims to be Diana, and Diana, her account, which is not a verified Twitter account either, went on and said, hey guys, don't follow this Stan account that's claiming to be me. And they had posted a photo of her standing next to the vehicle with all of these name brand bags. And people are like just dying because in the Stan account, it definitely said it was a Stan account in the description. And yes, she did post it, JoJo. And then, oh, she did post it. And yes, I think she did too. I thought she gave the picture to Bravo for the episode. But it was just so funny because the account in like the identity, you know, in the description part said basically it was like a Stan account, you know, and people were like replying with that to Diana, like, did you even read it? Like they say clearly it's, you know, that they're not you. And also, someone else said, like, you just gave them so much more, like, traffic and attention by posting this. So, I don't know. It's a little crazy because, like I said, neither one of these Twitters are confirmed to be Diana. The one definitely 1,000% says that they are Diana. But I have sources that say it's not Diana. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just what I've heard. 95% of the people on Instagram that took a poll said that she was 95% wrong with it. Her tagline should be whatever's better than having it all rubbing it in people's faces. Yes, because then she posted on her Instagram yesterday. She must have been in her Malibu home, which if you guys see it on TV, Malibu is like beautiful. It's where the ocean meets the mountains. It's just very, 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 very beautiful there. And her home, all windows on the one side, right? And she makes some sort of a statement that she's just trying to relax this Saturday or Sunday afternoon. And like you see like a window Ouija like come up the window and start to go down. And then again on the next one, like someone was outside cleaning the windows, right? And she was just so bothered by that and so like just frustrated that she was trying to enjoy her Sunday afternoon in her Malibu mansion and she had to watch her windows be washed. Just saying, that's what she said. I'm not saying whether I liked it or not, whether it was right or wrong. I'm just saying in my Diana Jenkins voice, that's what she said. Also, oh, there's something I wanted to mention about her. Oh, yeah. The blind item. Have you guys heard any of this? I'm just curious. The blind item that came out about allegedly Diana. Everyone was saying it was Diana. It was a former West Coast housewife. She didn't show for the last episode. Okay, so the last episode was the episode in which Garcelle was having the birthday party, and Garcelle had said that Denise was going to show up to her birthday party, right? And Lisa wasn't going to be there. Remember that whole thing. So the blind item says, former West Coast housewife who did not show for last episode, was told by her ex not to film with the new girl. He knows her from his party days. And he said to stay away from her, basically. So we know that Charlie Sheen was a big partier back in the day. We know that Charlie loved to pay women for their services. He just had a thing for, women that, I don't even know what the right word would be. I don't know if monetary, what I can say, what I can't say, but let's just say someone that sells, I don't know. They just sell sticks. They're women that sell sticks. That's what they do. You have very high-end ones and then you have cheaper ones, whatever the case may be. I don't think Charlie necessarily discriminated. I just think he had a thing for women that he could maybe control, and he had a lot of money, so he didn't mind paying them. But he loved them. Do you guys remember when Denise said that he came to Thanksgiving and had a woman that loves to sell, thank you, loose women? I don't know if it's a loose, though, because they're actually working. Like, they're getting paid, Some of them are getting paid thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, I don't know. But anyways, he was coming to see the kids and Denise on Thanksgiving, and he had a woman that sold sticks in the car with him, and he left her in the car to come in, and he had dinner, and Denise was like, who's with you? What are you doing leaving somebody in the car? And he told her who it was, and Denise was like, bring her in the house. Bring her in for Thanksgiving dinner. Like, what are you thinking? And I loved Denise from that point. Like, I had a lot of respect for the fact that Denise was like, I don't give an F what she does for a living, what her occupation is. She probably felt bad for her, for real, because Denise has been with Charlie, so she probably felt more bad for her than anyone else. And she said, bring her in the house and let her have Thanksgiving dinner with us. Like, she didn't make a big deal about it. She wasn't like, I think that it was probably a growing moment for her daughters to see like a little bit of humility to show like we're all human beings. Like, it doesn't matter if you're an actress and I'm a bartender and she's whatever, you know what I mean? We're all people. It's Thanksgiving. Bring her in the house. So I appreciated Denise for that. Yes, Jojo, you are correct. Charlie has said he is HIV positive. Correct. Now, though Charlie, that's the thing that we have to try to remember about Charlie, is because he liked to buy pleasure from women, he would know a little bit about Diana, right? If she's in the business of selling sticks and she's in the business of beautiful women and hooking men up with women that, complete all their desires, then it would be possible that they would know each other, that they would have interacted, right? Because I'm sure that if you're buying sticks or you're buying young girls or you're buying, weird sorts of sexual gratification that you aren't going to find from an average person. If you're a Hollywood A-lister, you're not just going to go to any old pimp, right? I mean, you're not just going to go down the street, right? Mauricio made that mistake and look how he ended up. He ended up in a book, okay? Mauricio went down the street and wanted to fulfill his sexual desires and pay them, and he ended up in a freaking book. So, most A-listers, they only have a couple of people that they would go through for that sort of thing because they have to be very discreet about it, right? They're not just going to call up anybody, right? So there's just like heroin dealers, just like cocaine dealers and addicts, like everyone knows who's who, right? Like heroin dealer or people on heroin are going to know who heroin dealers are, right? And they're going to know other people that do heroin because they're going to run into them whenever they're buying or using, or it's the same thing. If you're buying some sort of gratification, you're going to know the other people that run in that same ring of the same gratification that you like. You're going to run into them. You're going to run past them. You're going to, whatever the case may be. And you're all going to be going to the same madam, the same pimp, the same drug dealer, right? Because he's got the best, or he's going to keep it on the low. He doesn't tell anyone, or whatever the case may be. So it's just logical to think that if Charlie Sheen was buying gratification, that he would know a little bit about where to get it from. And if Diana is selling gratification, whether she's selling it through down the line 5 different people. Everyone, they all know. You know what I mean? Like they're all in this close circle of Hollywood elites who are doing illegal activities such as, kids and all kinds of crazy stuff that we don't even want to get into. It's possible that he does know that about Diana. He does know a little bit about her, and he's telling Denise, stay the F away from that lady. Don't film with her. Don't go there, because if you do, and she says something to you that you don't like, and you come back at her, then we're going to have a real problem on our hands, right? This also took me back to the dinner party. It was at the very beginning of the season when we saw Diana sitting. I know Jojo says I don't like the children part. I don't either. I don't either. It's very sad and sickening. But it took me back to the dinner party whenever Sutton called Lisa Rinna out. If you guys remember, a lot of people were commenting on Diana sitting at the table, and she had like a little piece of cardboard. I don't even know, maybe like maybe it was, I don't even know what it was she was using, but it looked like packets of sugar that was like had spilt on the table, and she was kind of just sitting there like talking clumsily, but she had something that was like along the lines of a card, I guess you will, and she was kind of just sitting there going back and forth with the sugar. And then, yes, the paper chopping. And then she was pushing it off to the side. And she was talking about Sutton, being very clumsy with her words as she was, paper cutting and pushing it off to the side and pushing it off to the side. And it was creepy. It was very creepy. And people that have had any sort of experience with I don't know if you would call that a recreational drug. I don't know. I don't think you would. But we call it skiing on this channel. That's what we like to call it. We like to call it going skiing. And so it seemed like very natural and comfortable to her. Almost something like a tick that she would do, if you will. Just sitting there like cutting up. Yeah, it is very telling. It is very telling. And and we know that Charlie Sheen, that was his favorite thing to do was to go skiing, except he liked to smoke it instead of snort it. Same thing, same drug, same effect, and derived from the same exact thing, right? So, and yes, chocolate, and people were making fun of Diana for licking her lips. I mean, a lot of people that don't even watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are making fun of her. And I've seen tons and tons and tons of Twitter comments, retweets of people saying that if you are on a stimulant sometimes, Adderall or, any sort of like even a prescription stimulant can cause someone to have like dry mouth and cause them to lick their lips a lot. That sort of thing. So people are speculating again, like, is she on something else? Like one scene she's using paper to make paper cuts on the table, and now she, is licking her lips all the time. And yes, Joanne was talking, someone else was like, if they believed in lizards or, like reptilian changing lizards or whatever, Diana would be one because of the way she licks her lips all the time. But it could be a sign that she's either on a medication that's giving her dry mouth, but also, a sign that she could be using illegal or legal stimulants. Who knows, right? These women have everything at the palm of their hands, everything pretty much. And someone made such a great point. They said, why would someone with $300 million, a reputation, a terrible reputation that goes back 10 years, go on reality TV? Like, why would you do that? You don't have a good reputation. You have over $300 million and you're going to work? That doesn't sound right, guys. And you have like a newborn baby and you were trying to have a baby. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't all sit very well with me. Like she said, like the miscarriage was just so traumatic and very sad. Anytime that happens, of course, we don't want to hear about anyone losing babies or, being on bed rest or the sort of things that Diana was describing. None of us want anyone to go through those sorts of things, but it's just strange to me that if you were really if you were concentrating on having like a child, you know, we know the IVF and all of those sorts of things can be a lot on your body, and it can be a lot of time, and it can be a lot on your emotions. And so it just seemed a little strange to me that you would pick that time in your life to try to conceive again, basically, which would have put her, you know, in her early trimesters filming, right? I mean, if she was 12 weeks along, is that what she said, 12 weeks along? I want to say that's what she said, that she lost the baby at 12 weeks and she was still bleeding and she was on bed rest. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she conceived before filming started. Maybe she didn't know she was going to film. I don't know. It just seems a little bit, I don't know. It just doesn't seem really fitting. Why would you try? Why would, if you were in charge of your own pregnancy and you can get pregnant, you know, and do this process that's going to be hard on you. Thank you, Stacey. 12 weeks ago. It doesn't seem right that you would want to do it while you were starting a new job when you haven't worked like under anyone but yourself for years and years, and you have $300 million in the bank, but you got to go get, you know, you got to go meet your contract. You got to go film with Sutton. You got to go film with Kyle. Stuff that may never even hit the air. Did you guys happen to see? I love that some people are coming out with like a list of how much time each of the ladies got on the episode. Now, last week's episode, I think Lisa Rinna got 3 minutes and 8 seconds, which is not really great, guys. And I think she's starting to crack. I'm telling you. That's what else I wanted to talk about was this post that she posted about Lois and how Lois only got one I don't know if she said Lois only got one episode or she meant like she only got the grace of one episode. But the dark rumor, you know, went on for 3 episodes. I don't know. Now she's kind of talking shit about producers again. And I don't think that they like that. They don't want you to talk about things that were edited out. You know, she said they edited out a whole breakfast scene of her and Sutton, and it would have been great for viewers to see because it really would have helped everyone's perspective on the entire Diana Sutton, you know, feud. Which I don't know really much more what we could be missing because I think that Sutton filled us in so much during her confessionals that we didn't really need to see her fill Lisa in on it again. You know what I mean? Like, we got Sutton's perspective from her confessionals, and that was good enough for viewers, so they didn't really need to use the conversation with Lisa Rinna, which one makes me feel like, did you even watch the episodes, Lisa, or are you just going off of what you know, a little bit of what aired and a little bit of what didn't air, and now you're going to try to put producers on blast about it? It's like she's almost, I don't know if she could ever deal with the fact that she wouldn't be coming back next year. I think as long as there's like the slimmest chance Lisa Rinna would be on the bandwagon to make that happen. So I could never think that she knows that she's not coming back next season. So she's just like basically going out in a blaze of fire. I just don't think that, because like I said, I think if Lisa had any sort of a chance of coming back, she would be doing whatever she could to get back. And I don't think putting producers on blast is what she should be doing if she's trying to come back. And I think that she's been in Hollywood long enough to know that, right? She's got connections, she's got people, and she's got publicists, she's got agents, you know, she's got access to lots and lots of people, right? So if she wants to stay on the show or she wants to be affiliated with Bravo and she wants to make a paycheck, she probably isn't going about it the right way. Also, have you guys seen the clips that people are posting of, they're like old scenes of Kyle and Mauricio, and there are times that like Mauricio was basically caught checking out another woman, but nobody else caught it, right? So there was a clip of Kyle and Mauricio when they lived in their old Beverly Hills home, and they were getting ready for one of their white parties, and like the hairstylist was there, Kyle sitting, Mauricio standing behind her, and he basically kind of checks out the hairstylist, you know, and asks her if she's going to be there, but his eyes literally like go up and down, right? Which is so funny. So they posted that. And then there's another clip, and it was of, now we talked about these rumors before. These are, you know, pretty crazy rumors. I don't even like to say stuff like this if it's not true, but there were rumors and allegations surrounding Mauricio and his oldest stepdaughter, Farrah. And this particular clip was from whenever they had Farrah's big birthday party at Kyle's house. I think it was like the Halloween party, the one where they had the Ferris wheel. And Farrah comes up and like gives Kyle a hug, and Mauricio's kind of standing like off to the side. And it does kind of, to me, look like he checks her, like he looks her up and down. To me, it looked like that. You guys will have to check it out yourselves and see what you think. I can definitely repost those on my Instagram, but they're kind of floating around on the internet. That's why I figured that you guys had seen them. It brings me back to last week's episode with Hanukkah and Dorit and the children coming over to Kyle Mauricio's house to celebrate Hanukkah. It made me, someone posted, it was so funny that they, like, every Bravo viewer fan right now is watching Mauricio and Dorit, like, with a magnifying glass, right? Like, we want to make sure that we don't catch no sort of inappropriate touching, kissing, talking, whispering, too close to one another, anything of the sort, right? Because we know this blind item about the housewife sleeping with the other housewife's husband, and the housewife that is sleeping with the other housewife's husband happens to not have a storyline. So it limits the women down. But Dorit, she didn't have a lot of screen time either. We're not really seeing a storyline for her. They're done with the robbery. I think we won't hear much more about that. I don't know if we'll hear much more about anything else from Dorit, but that's what we're getting from her right now. PK traveling overseas. Pretty fairly, I don't know if it would really be soon though. I can't really think of when they were robbed. I think they were robbed in October. And so they would have been practicing Hanukkah in December, if I'm correct. If that's the case, then it had been a couple of months before PK returned overseas again and leaving Dorit and the children at home. We know that he works for Boy George. He's Boy George's manager. So I guess that would, request his presence to be near Boy George, which is overseas. What else did I want to talk about with you guys? I had something else I wanted to mention. I did a whole video on the breakdown of the new, not new charges, but the new suit against Erica Jane. The one that Ronald Richards picked up with Nicolas Cage's ex-girlfriend. I just did a whole breakdown of that. It's going to be in a 2-part series for you guys. So the first one's uploading it in a minute here, probably right now where we're doing this video. And then the part 2 will follow. I also hit you guys with a video on something else. On Taylor Armstrong. And some of the details she revealed on What Happens Live. And I also talked a little bit about another blind item. So make sure you guys are watching those videos. Make sure you guys hit a like for me. I'm definitely trying to grow my channel, guys. I know I was on vacay last week, but I didn't have a ton of content, but I'm back this week. So there is a lot going on in New Jersey. A lot going on in New Jersey. I'm sure you guys are seeing little bits and pieces of it, but I'm doing some detective work because we got to find out what the hell is going on between Teresa, Louis' sister, and Dina, and the falling out that has transpired, because we know that there's definitely been a falling out. We just don't know who, we know who the major parties are, but we don't know why. Oh, thank you, Shay. I appreciate that. I do, but I vacation with my daughter and my fiance. Shrugs, right? Shrugs. We just stay blessed, right? Back to the OC. She says, Jill out of Tamara. Did Vicky tell Jill? Stace, I know I'm going to do a whole video on this. I was going to bring it up, but yes. Hell yes, Vicky told Jill. Hell yes, Vicky told Jill. But I do think that everyone knew Tamara was coming back. I thought Page 6 had verified it at that point that she was coming back. I said a long time ago, guys, I said Tamara's coming back. They adjusted the OC's filming schedule for her. Thank you, JoJo. We've been engaged for like a year. We might break up before we get married. Who knows? No, I'm just joking. But I saw Tamara's little video basically being like she tweeted Jill F off and called her a thirsty bitch, which makes me feel like was so harsh. And I think that Tamara they're going to put a lot of pressure on her. This is what I feel like. Tamara said Denise hit on her. Someone wanted a rehiring on her show. Oh, let's talk about Teddy though. Teddy's gonna have a freaking meltdown. What is gonna happen to two T's and a Todd in a pod? If there's, sorry, my low battery mode. What's gonna happen to two T's in a pod if there's only one T, right? What's gonna happen? Is it gonna go back to Teddy's podcast where it's just Teddy one T in a pod? I mean, I want to see Teddy's reaction. I want to know what she's thinking, what she's saying. Why isn't Tamara? I don't know, guys. I mean, one person tweeted, if Tamara comes back, then we want to hear about Eddie's alleged hookups with other dudes. Okay, we want to know. We want to hear about it. If you're bringing her back, we want to hear the rumors. Okay, we want to hear the rumors about Teddy and the boys. We want to know what happened with Teddy. There will be no tea. I know. And you know what else, guys? Are they scheduling their podcast so that they don't have to talk about Kyle and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills right now? Because that's what I'm thinking. Why haven't they talked about it? Teddy loves to talk about Kyle. She loves to show her support for Kyle, her loyalty for Kyle. Yet we haven't heard crickets from Teddy, from two T's and a Todd. Okay, crickets from them. So it makes me feel like that they're purposely like waiting for like a couple of days to go by, or for Atlanta to air something else to try to take the focus off the fact that they can't talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because they don't want to give Kyle a bad edit, right? Especially Tamara, because she's back in, and I'm sure Kyle had something to do that, because that was the whole reason she was even friends with Teddy in the first place, was to get close to Kyle. So she can't hardly talk shit about Kyle on her podcast. And Teddy is not going to talk shit about Kyle. And with all the backlash that Kyle and Mauricio were getting, Teddy and Tamara don't want to take the chance of not taking the viewer's side and saying how messed up it was, or saying something, whatever, I guess, whatever they could say, that it was like messed up, it's effed up. I mean, whatever they would say wouldn't be in light of Kyle. So it would either be piss off viewers or piss off Kyle. And I don't know which would be worse, to be honest with you, because I think Kyle has a lot of pull. She's been there a long time. They say her contract even says she can't get fired. I don't really know if that's true or not. I'm just saying. I have heard that before a couple of times. Like I heard about Lisa Rinna's contract and how it's in there that she doesn't have to talk about her husband as long as he, films one episode fully and, cooperates in any other events that may transpire along the episode that he would be required to film at. We have a lot to talk about in New Jersey, too. I'm going to get that video out for you guys. I'm excited about that video, though, because... Hi, Pam. I'm sorry you missed the live. Sissy, it was a good one. We were talking about Beverly Hills and Dorit and Mauricio and all of his scandals. Did you see Kyle saying she's rebuilding her collection, buying 4 times? I don't know, guys. I love to see people helping other people whenever they have so much money that they can really do these crazy things. You know what I mean? Like, if you're really swimming in that much money, like, let me hear about your charity work. Let me see you do something for the community. That's what I love about Real Housewives of Atlanta, is they do, like, charity gives backs. And I do feel like Candy does a lot for, like, she does like back to school giveaways. Like, they do a lot in the community, and I really appreciate that. Rinna needs the money. Yes, Jojo, Rinna needs every damn dollar. She's got 3 mortgages on that house. Okay. Hey, Jay from the UK. Oh, hey, Pam's going to rewind. Perfect. Stays. Jay from the UK. I heard it's hot as hell over there. Number 1, I did hear that. Number 2, you missed the whole live. Where you been? You guys turn those notifications on. What else do we want to talk about with the OC, though? We want to talk about how Vicky is not going to be on it, allegedly. That's what they're saying. But did you hear Brittany sing? Yes, I did. Did anyone else hear it? I did see people tweeting about it. It was beautiful. I'm so happy for her. I really think Britney Spears, she really has had it hard. And I think that she deserves, happiness forever for everything that she's endured over the years. I didn't know she was so close to Paris Hilton though. That kind of took me a little bit off guard. That did kind of take me a little bit off guard that she had Paris and Kathy at her wedding. But it's possible that they're very close. Maybe they sparked up a friendship at some point, and then just stayed friends, or maybe fell out and then stayed friends again. Dr. Jen may be a friend. Dr. Jen says she's going to be a friend of the show. She very well could be. I did see her interviewed. I think she has a lot of drama going in on her life, and somebody asked for a deep dive on her, and I should have did it. I didn't. I waited too long. I didn't know if anyone would want to hear it after that, but I'm going to do that because I know a lot about Dr. Jen, and I think that she just suffers, and I think that she may be a whole different housewife if she's away from her husband. I think the pressure of her job, the pressure of like being in physical pain every day, and then not being in a good relationship at home allowed her like no focus for the show. You know what I mean? Like, I know JoJo Paris declined to DJ for the president to go to Britney's wedding. I talked about that. But what was I just saying? I just lost my train of thought. That's why I try not to read comments, because I just lose my train of thought. Jeez. We're talking about OC. Who was we just talking about? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, guys. I lose my train of thought sometimes. That's why I can't read comments in the middle of what I'm talking. Also, I wanted to point out one last thing to you guys, was the fact that Erica was talking shit about Garcelle's children. Oh, we're talking about Dr. Jen. Yes, Dr. Jen. I'm sorry. Her husband had money though, right? So I think she just had the pressure of her job in general. There was a lot of shit that went down during the pandemic. There was a lawsuit that Dr. Jen filed on her ex-office manager. It was a lawsuit for like a defamation of character. And basically, Dr. Jen should have never filed that because she basically disclosed all of this craziness that was going on in her office during the pandemic. And then it resulted in the woman counter suing Dr. Jen and basically giving her whole side of the story, which was that Dr. Jen was using fake Botox, that she was getting shipments of fake Botox and filler in from other countries, and that the office manager would pay for them. Dr. Jen would then take the products home to her house, where she would store them and then bring them back into the office. And the old office manager alleges that basically Dr. Jen did that because she was taking the off-brand filler that was not FDA approved, and she was putting it into Botox bottles, so that way when other providers were in the office injecting Botox or fillers, they thought that it was the actual name brand Botox or the name brand filler, when really it was unapproved FDA Botox and filler from other countries. Now, allegedly, the gentleman that was working at her office, who was not a licensed medical doctor anymore, was where she had made these contacts and where she was getting the fake product from. Also, allegations that she was calling in prescriptions and fake names and other people's names, but the medications, the pain meds were for her. We did see her on the show suffering with an ankle. She said she opted out of pain meds, that she tried to do physical therapy, and I do believe that, but sometimes I think when people have chronic everyday pain, sometimes they need relief in other ways, and I think that she probably found relief in pain meds. In the paperwork in the suit, the office manager claims that she would call in Tylenol 3s. Okay, so not super high on the like controlled substance list, but not a good thing to be calling in other people's names and having other people, pick you up scripts, and you're a doctor, you're a provider, right? I've worked with providers. They will not even call in antibiotics for people in their family. Like, they will call a friend that is a provider and have them do it because they take that shit real serious no matter where you're from. So yeah, it made Jen look bad in the end because this office manager just really, she talked to government agents. Dr. Jen could have gotten in a lot of trouble, and it's possible that she still could because there's a statute of limitations. And this only happened in 2020 when the pandemic hit. So she had him working there. He had actually, I think his last name was Wong, if I'm not correct. We did see him for a quick second on one of the episodes of The Real Housewives at OC. He was not certified anymore. He had turned in his license because I think it was like Medicaid fraud. It wasn't like malpractice or he like messed up or was like giving people crazy diagnosis. He was ripping off Medicaid for money, basically. And so he couldn't practice anymore. I think it was like his second offense, which is a pretty big deal with Medicaid. You cannot do that. So she had him employed there. She had him working on patients. And he alleges that he was simply there to teach her. He never touched any patients. If he did, it was just to help her along because they were doing, I cannot think of the word of it. It was like the netting that they will put under your skin. I cannot think of the exact word, but basically they'll net under the woman's skin and then they pull it up over here. And so allegedly that was his specialty. He was teaching that to Dr. Jen, and that's why he was in the office. Yeah, so I don't know. She might, you know, if she's getting divorced, we've heard that she's backdating her sugar daddy, the one that was suing her for $140,000, who said she lied to him and was pregnant with somebody else's twins, and didn't say anything until after she had the babies and then confirmed, you know, the biological identity of the children. So yeah, that was his claims that he put her through med school. Yeah, he had a lot of claims. I'm going to do a whole video on that. I didn't know she was coming back as a friend. I did see a short clip of her being interviewed. I can't remember where. And I was like, dang, that's weird that they're interviewing her since she just got fired. I haven't seen Noella interviewing anywhere. So that makes sense. I didn't know. But yeah, I'll do a whole video on Jen. Drop any comments on things you guys are interested in, you want to know more about. I love to do deep dives. Oh, yeah, Shay. There was like a lot. Yes. So there was... First, Dr. Jen sued her office manager. Then the office manager countersued. And then the sugar daddy had sued for $140K. And that was, I think she ended up paying him some money. But allegedly, they're back together. So, yeah. That's just the word on the curb. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm definitely trying to grow my channel. And I would appreciate your likes. I would appreciate your follows. Comment anything you would like to hear anything more about, and make sure you turn those notifications on because it's a big download day for me. So hopefully I'll get some of these videos up and popping for you. My latest one on with some good stuff in it. Ronald Richards, Erica Jane, Beverly Hills. We didn't even get a chance to talk about Atlanta, but I have a whole nother video for that because I was going to do a recap on Atlanta anyways. So yeah, go ahead, comment. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know if there's anything that you want to hear more about. All right, guys, have a great day.